December the 11th after the market close, and we're starting off looking at a chart of S&P to see what is the market direction and where the market is headed now after all of these turbulent times. And you could see here, this was the day after election here, 11/7. We came down here, kept going down into the pit, and just on 16th we had a reversal day here, this reversal bar put in here, and then we have burned this thing up here to the 200-day moving average. You just went away from it. Really, this was a booster candle, and then since then we haven't looked back. Then a couple days we have been down on fiscal cliff worries, and then in the last 4 or 5 sessions we have been up. Today the market has clearly gone up above the 250-day moving average, which is a very bullish sign. Now we're in a bullish territory. We went up to 1430 and then got pulled back today because the remarks from Senator, which said that the deal for fiscal cliff would be unlikely towards the close. The market pulled back. That's why it's not a topping tail. You see this kind of a pullback a little bit on the charts, and so that is what exactly transpired here. Let's move on and take a look at some other averages here. DJI, I just want to go over everything here quickly, is also above its 50-day moving average, sitting that comfortably numb, which is good shape. I mean, the market is getting stronger here. RUT, which is the broad market, is also gapped up here at 1834, which is above that 50-day moving average. And NDX, NASDAQ 100, not the complete NASDAQ. This is the candle here on NASDAQ, I believe. And the candle is not very well formed, but it is above that 50-day moving average. So all of these things are happening, which is strengthening the market. And the volume today on SPY was also good, and SPY is also sitting gapped up and sitting there with a topping tail here. Actually, there is a topping tail here on SPY above the 50-day moving average. Now let's move on to some of the important stocks here. One of the first stock is NSR. This stock did really well today, and this is a cup-shaped pattern here. It bolted out here from 40 and sitting there 42.6 is a bullish candidate here. Then we had CELG, Celgene, that also bolted out here today in a cup-shaped pattern. So all these things are starting now bolting out from their patterns, and you need to know which ones are there. EQIX, I've got another one here, which is also above its 50-day moving average and now sitting at 198. From that, we look at DE, which is Deere, and this thing is trying to go up here but hasn't completed that pattern yet. CRM was a big talk today. I did not trade this stock, but it broke out from the consolidation pattern it has been since November, and it's sitting at 165. So these are some very bullish stocks that you're seeing. On the other hand, we need to look back and see some of the stocks which are not doing so good. Apple is still acting sick, but today it made a gap up here and stayed with the gap. This was the picture on Apple on 15-minute. Take a look at it. 15-minute, it gapped up here and then stayed the course all throughout the day. It refused to come down here. A couple times it was sold off towards the close, but again it managed to finish the day. Now this is a descending channel actually, and this channel is a descending channel. You could see it. You can draw a trend line here. The moving averages are down, but it's still, if it starts moving up to 555, then yeah, it is going up here, and so we're keeping an eye on this one. Google, which is the other big cap here, is sitting there at the 50-day moving average. It pierced through it and pulled back towards the close when the remarks were made, as everything pulled back. And so hopefully this thing should climb above its 50-day moving average, because the NDX is already up there and the other technology and other indexes out there. So if it's going to be left behind, then it's going to be something different. That is not what is happening. Lastly, we have this stock, AMZN. We haven't covered that, but Amazon has a V-shaped recovery here. Now it's pulling back a little. So that is where it is. Again, the market direction, it stays very nicely, and the market is now back to the pre-election levels. What a horrific ride this has been to the downside. Fiscal cliff worries, and then a climb out of there, uncertainty, but it still has made it this far. So the market direction remains solidly up at this point.